Right on. So Masoud, it's Steve, and we've just been having a fascinating discussion at breakfast, and I'm asked you, please, can we take a few minutes to share some of your thoughts about treating terrorist groups as cults?
Yes.
Can you say something about that, please?
Yes, of course. I have written an article that all terrorist organizations, to survive, they have no alternative but to change into a destructive cult. Either they are a destructive cult, or they have no option but to survive to change into a destructive cult. So my suggestion is that to fight terrorism and to fight terrorist organizations, in a state of concentrating on the terrorism aspects of those organizations, we can concentrate on the cult aspect of the organization, because concentrating on terrorist aspects of the organization doesn't help us much. Why? Because before, if they haven't done any crime, if you put them on trial or arrest them or something, you are breaking the most basic values of any democratic society, because you have to commit a crime to put you in a trial and so on. And after they commit a crime, it's too late to punish them. And of course, in modern terrorism, even punishing them is not very easy, because suddenly they believe that they have changed into a martyr.
Well, they've been indoctrinated to believe that they're going to
go to heaven and so on. So in a state of that, why not look at the destructive cause and how we can fight destructive cause? In this way, we can fight against terrorism, to understand that concept and attack them from that angle.
And so, because someone may be watching this video and hasn't seen our other video, you were involved with ex-MeK, which is an Iranian terrorist organization that you have studied, having left it, and found it to be a destructive mind control cult in its full expression. And you were saying to me that, you know, Al-Qaeda, ex-MeK, the brainwashing, the mind control, the undue influence on the members, so they can do assassinations, suicide bombing, and in your group people actually did set themselves on fire.
And they set themselves on fire, and they had the first suicide operator in at least as far as I know, woman is the suicide operators in Islamic history.
Wow.
As far as I know.
So you know, you were involved for 20 years, so you know what you're talking about.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. So, and that's very humble of you. I'm very impressed, and of course you've written your book, and we'll put up your link to your website and the article that you were talking about. But you were saying that beyond some bomber that is captured and is put on civil trial, you were recommending a Sharia trial or some type of additional.
Yes. The kind of difficulty which we have, for example, with those who operate within ex-MeK or within Al-Qaeda, is that if you put them on trial in civil court, you will change them into a martyr, because what do you want to do? I mean, in the court, at most you can do is to prove that they are criminal. They have killed people, they have bombed this place or that place, which they are ready to admit to it in first place. So what is the point of the trial? And if you sentence them to death or to whatever,
life in jail,
again, if you sentence them into life in jail, they will see it as some sort of punishment for whitewashing their previous sins. So after the jail, they will go to heaven. And if you kill them, they believe that they have changed into martyr, and again they will go to heaven. So in this way, for them is a win-win situation. If you free them, they have won.
Psychologically, it's a win-win. They're going to die, or they'll be in jail, but they don't care because they're going to go to heaven.
If they go to jail, if they be executed, in both cases cases they feel that they are going to heaven, so they welcome it with
right.
Yeah.
And in some ways it inspires and encourages other cult members to do the same.
Exactly, and even ordinary Muslims probably.
Right.
Ordinary Muslims probably feel that this is unjust of West or unjust of the law against these people.
Mm-hmm.
Even in Iran, which is a Muslim country,
right.
they might feel that this is unjust. But what about if we say to them, okay, you claim you are Muslim, and at the same time you claim you are Iranian, you claim you are American and
right.
British and so on. So in this case, you should have two trials. One trial is according to the law of the country, because either you claim you have this nationality,
right.
or you have committed crime in this country or that country. And another trial because you claim that you are Muslim. Now you can try them according to Sharia law,
mm-hmm.
Islamic law.
Mm-hmm.
And in Islamic law, we have very clear idea whom you can kill during the war and whom you can.
Mm-hmm.
For example, there are clear sentences from first rulers of Islam and from Quran that you cannot kill women and children in the heat of the war.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot kill old woman in heat of the war. You cannot kill unarmed man in heat of the war. Even if somebody who is fighting with you put his arms down and turn his back towards you and walk away, you cannot follow him and you cannot kill him. These are very clear sentences. So if we televise this trial and show that whatever they have done,
mm-hmm.
they have done it against laws of Islam,
mm-hmm.
against laws of Quran, they cannot claim that they are going to be martyred. They cannot claim that they are going to heaven. They have committed sin, and greatest sin.
Mm-hmm.
So even according to Islam, even according to Quran, they go straight to hell. So people will do not follow them.
We'll
People,
learn that the
yeah.
penalty is exactly opposite of what they were told by their cult leaders who were telling them to do these criminal acts.
So you need somebody who knows Sharia law, and which are plenty,
mm-hmm.
and they can bring a Quran over there and Sunnah, or the way that Prophet and those five first rulers of Islam were behaving or were
mm-hmm.
sentencing people or judging people.
Right.
You can put them there, and according to those laws, you can put these people on trial, and you can prove that whatever they have done, they haven't done it under the name of Islam. I am not judging if they done it rightly or wrongly or whatever, but it was not according to Islam.
Uh-huh.
It was not according to the laws.
Are you aware of any Muslim country that does this for suicide bombers who have committed such atrocities?
During 80s, when MEK was very active in Iran and was doing these things, they tried this and they did it. But because at that time I was member of MEK, I am not aware how much they use the Quran, how much they use exact sentences of Quran and exact sentences of Sunnah. But for one thing, I am sure that it worked. Why? Because MEK, in matter of years, lost all his supports within Iran. It has a lot of support outside of Iran, but almost no support inside of Iran. And this is not me that I am saying this. Even if you read the RAND report, which was prepared for Defense Secretary of United States, you can see this. Even if you read the intelligence reports about MEK, all of them claim that they do not have any support inside of Iran. So by doing this, they have neutralized them inside Iran.
And as an American who has mostly heard only bad things about Iran, frankly, I was surprised to learn that Iran basically said MEK was a mind control cult, and anyone who wants to leave MEK is welcome back in Iran. I was shocked, actually, that they would have such a...
Yes, unfortunately, it took them some years to realize this. I mean, during 80s, they were not saying the same things. It was difficult for them to understand them and understand the concept of mind control and concept of brainwashing. But gradually they learned about it, and gradually they realized that they are not dealing just with a terrorist organization, but they are dealing with a destructive cult. They realized that those who commit crime under the name of MEK, most of them are innocent people who have been brainwashed. So now they have decided, firstly they pardon all members for whatever they have done.
Wow.
Except I think probably 60 or 70 people. These 60 and 70 people are firstly the leaders of the group who do brainwash others, and the rest of them are those who have a personal criminal, who have committed personal criminal act. I mean, they have killed, for example, father of somebody, daughter of somebody, son of somebody, and they are member of MEK. Except these people, they have said the rest are free to come back to Iran, because we know whatever they have done it.
So I want to come back to the idea of the second trial that would be publicized or televised to send the message to all potential recruits for terrorist groups that they're not going to go to heaven.
No, they're going straight to hell.
They're going straight to hell. I could see how it might be possible to implement such a thing in a Muslim country, but I think about the United States and what would be the implications.
Why should be difficult in United States? I mean, you can say that, for example, good Muslims of this country have something to say against Al Qaeda, against what Al Qaeda does, and then this is not American. This is Muslims who are trying.
I think it's a brilliant idea, and I guess another question comes to mind. Are there any American Muslim leaders who are courageous enough to say, I will be involved with such a thing, and we could lobby and say we want to do this?
I don't see why not. I don't see why should it be difficult, because they have done these criminal acts under the name of Islam. And I think there are millions and billions of Muslims who welcome something like this to save the name of Islam and to differentiate name of Islam from terrorism and from these horrible acts of these people. I don't see why not.
It's fascinating to me. We could talk for ages, but we have a meeting we need to go to, and I look forward to visiting with you again.
Thank you very much. Yes,
thank you. And we will put up other links to your paper.
Yes.
And your ideas, and maybe you can do some other videos.
Yes, as I mentioned to you, I have written an article about martyrdom, how these terrorist groups and how these destructive cause use the word of martyrdom for their end. And I will send that article to you.
And we'll put it on the freedomofmind.com website.
Yes, because in that article I have mentioned the exact sentences why Muslims cannot kill women and children, why Muslims cannot
sentences
kill
from the Quran itself.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Masoud.
Thank you very much for having me.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.